Hello YouTubers and welcome back to my channel. This is my latest crawler, which is a FCX Trooper, and I bought this off a really good friend of mine. In fact, you might even recognise his logo of his. I've done a couple of videos with him, with his channel, and I will link his channel within the description down below. But yes, that's his name. Now, if you remember a couple of videos back, if you watched it, that I happened to mention a little bit of a surprise at the SST event that I went to recently. Now, it was this. I was going to take this with me, but unfortunately, because of the thunderstorms and heavy rain that we got on the day, I simply ran out of time to actually do any videos on this because of that reason. Because it literally rained for a few hours. I just simply ran out of time. So in this one, as you say, welcome video to my channel, and in the next video will be the running video, but not on my track. I've already pre-recorded it before I done this one, hence why there's got little dirt marks on the tyres and a few other spots. But this one, I'm going to show you what's standard and what comes out of the box, and the other parts that my good friend of mine has actually done to it. So let's get started on the body shell. The body shell does come in two different colours, this colour or red. I'm quite liking both, but this is the colour that it came in when I bought it off my friend of mine, and it's a very nice colour. Starting off the roof rack, that comes standard. The roof bar, these boost things on the side, on the bonnet, are optional, or there are extras that he put on it after he bought it. The front bumper, let's tilt it up. That's completely standard, but there's a couple of extra lights. I think these two and these two are extras that he fitted to them, so that's not standard. The other one, as you can see at the front, sorry about that, a big helicopter just flew over. But as I was saying, you can see a winch poke out the front bumper. Even though the front bumper is standard, but it does have a hole for a extra winch at the front, and that's what my friend's actually done, and I'll show you that in just a moment. Before I take the body shell off, before I forget, I think, as far as I'm aware, the rear ladder is standard, but the rear spare wheel, he's changed that to a plastic one, and as well the tow bar is a extra thing he has fitted, but it does come with rear lights as standard as far as I'm aware. So with the mud flaps, these are actually quite nice. I really like those. Before I take the body shelf and get carried away, the other thing you get out of the box is a 2S 2000 mAh volts 2S LiPo battery, and this lasted me roughly about 35 minutes to 40 minutes of running time when I took it out for a crawl with a good friend of mine. Again, you will see that in the next video. This is the standard FCX controller that you get with the Trooper, and I must say I really did like it. The feel, the response from it out on the crawl, I really did like it. It is a 6-channel controller and receiver, but the receiver is a 2-in-1 ESC and receiver, so that is a bit of a drawback. But like I said, the response from the ESC and receiver I was very happy with, so I'm going to leave it as standard because of that reason. But going back to the controller, as I say, I was very happy with how this actually performed, so I might actually stick with this as well. The winch, the other thing about this is what FCX has done, is that there is a extra channel purposely built in for the winch, which is just here. Now, not many controllers actually do that as standard. Normally you have a separate one. Excuse me. Sorry about that. As I say, you do normally buy an extra controller for the winch, or in some cases you can probe the winch in to a specific channel. But this one is actually standard, which I'm very happy about, and I have used it a couple of times. Now up here you got the usual trim settings for the steering and the throttle, and you get all your different settings here as well for the type of battery that you want to use, whether it be Nickelback or a LiPo battery. In my case it's the LiPo. You get the settings for the drum brake and whatnot, but channel 6 and 5 and 6 I'm not quite sure what that does, but 2 to 4 is for the drag brake settings, and channel option 1 is for the battery. So that's that. You do get out of the box as well is a LiPo battery charger, which is a USB one, which I've never used, and neither is a friend of mine, purely because we have got a separate charger which is a lot better than what this does. But you still get this out of the box if you don't have one. Even here is a little hint of what upgrades he's done. Steering knuckles, the front diff cover, which is what he changed, and a different setting for a spare wheel. Like I said, at the box it's a different holder for the spare wheel, but since he's changed it, he doesn't need this for it. Spare window wipers in case the ones on the body break off. You got a spare one. Extra spotlight as well, and you do get a larger battery tray as well if you wish to run a bigger battery like a 5000 mAh LiPo battery. You do have that option extra, because in it you can only run the smaller pack batteries, which again I find that the runtime is quite good. The other one I also got is a user manual. I did have a quick read of it, purely because of the settings on the controller, like for the drag brake. But otherwise, it's pretty basic, but it's useful. And I also still got the original box that this comes in as well, which is in the background. So let's get this body sheet off and show you what is underneath. The only thing I found a bit tricky is that the front bumper, because it spins round as well, the body shield can actually be quite fiddly to actually get on because of this, and the inner fenders as well. Let's move it this way so you can see it better, sorry. Can you see? Yep. And so I'm also trying a new phone holder as well, so I can't really see the screen properly. But like I said, because of the front bumper, the front body shield can be quite fiddly to get on with that, and the inner fenders as well, or wheel arches. So let's unplug all the different lights. Handily, a friend of mine has actually colour coded what wires go where. He's put little cable ties on it. So that's off. So let's check the screen again. Yes, you can see it perfectly. Underneath, as I say, you've got the 2-in-1 ESM receiver sitting right here. I combine that with a 390 can brushed motor as well, sitting just here. Can't remember what turn it is. Yeah, I can't see what turn it is, unfortunately. But it does say what can it is, and it's looking. Oh, it's a 550 can. It looked to me, it looked like a 390 can, but yeah, it says on there on the side, it is a 550 can. But unfortunately, it doesn't state what turn it is, which is a bit of a shame. With steering servo, I did happen to see in the manual it's a 35 kilogram steering servo, which is actually out of the box quite powerful, I think. Sits out in the front is the servo winch. Again, that's a 35 35 kilogram servo as well, powering the winch. As you saw on the controller, there's a channel dedicated for the winch as well. And say, for the size of it, for the extra truck as well, it does put it along quite nicely. But unfortunately, that's not standard at the box. It just has all the fittings for the winch to be fitted. But yes, that is a extra thing that you do have to get separately. What I like about it is all the wheel arches, keeping most of the dirt out from the inside of it. And opposite side from the ESM receiver is the battery tray for the smaller battery, which the battery sits quite nicely just there. If you want a 3S LiPo, which is slightly bigger than 2S, you do have to trim some of this wheel arch down to actually make the 3S LiPo fit. In the running video, I did use this one, so you should see what it runs like on this standard 2S LiPo battery, like this one. So yes, that is that. I say, looks for me, there's not much to say as you can see already. Underneath, it's a pretty standard FTX Trooper. The upgrades that have been done is the front differential cover has been upgraded to brass. The same with the steering knuckles at the front as well, and that's been upgraded as well. You can see underneath as well is that this winch servo just tucked away just there, quite neatly tucked away there. And at the back, it's you do get the upgraded, well actually do, unfortunately it's not standard, that has been upgraded to the axle ends as well. They've been brass upgraded, done by a good friend of mine. Unfortunately he didn't do the rear differential cover as well, which a lot of people seem to do at the same time as the front one. But in this case, it's not been done. The rest of it is pretty standard at the box as well. That's all the upgrades he has done to it. And I've just realised the wheels and tyres. They have been upgraded. I can't remember what these wheels and tyres are. Well, the tyres are actually Super Swampers, as you probably can see anyway. Just look at the camera. But it does state the tyres are Super Swampers. But the wheels themselves, I can't remember what he actually said they were. RC four-wheel drive seems to ring a bell, but I can't confirm whether they are. Hopefully, he'll make a comment in the comments down below. So that is pretty much it. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Someone watching in the background. But yes, that's pretty much all of it. And in my next video, I have taken it out with a good friend of mine with his cooler. Normally I would take it onto my track first to do the first test run, but in this case I got a bit excited about using it, and I ended up taking it to the woods and doing a slight night crawl as well, because as the time went on it did get slightly darker, so it will see the lights at fully working as well. So I'm going to end the video just there. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the running video as well. As I say, I will tag my friend's YouTube channel in the description down below. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.